Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is G, and you're watching Allastrology. We're going to talk about October. Yes, this is the October video for Gemini. Gemini, we have an eclipse coming. I'll talk about that for you, where the eclipse happens in your life. And I'm also going to give like the keywords and what are some of the ways that it can express in your life, like what you can possibly experience, just how you'll see it manifest. We're also going to talk about Mars. You know, it's Mars in Gemini. We'll pull a card for it. And then we're also going to do the same for the Scorpio eclipse. And I'll dissect what it means for you, okay? And then this is a south node eclipse, so we got to know what the hell that means. It's a solar eclipse, so we got to know what that means. Yeah. And then we got to know, where is it happening in your life? So I'll talk about that, and then I'll pull you your card, all right? So number one, the eclipse happens in the sign of Scorpio at 2 degrees. 2 degrees in the sign of Scorpio. Now, if you don't know, like if you have something there and you want to know, right? Just comment to me down below and I can find that out for you. All right. 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 degrees. This could be quite a huge deal in your life. And so it's not just at the Scorpio end, but it's also at the Taurus end, because these are polar pairs, right? They are polar opposites, but they're connected. They're along the same line of energy. So you would be looking at your Scorpio energy and your Taurus energy, technically. Okay. You're having your eclipse at your 2 degree Scorpio eclipse in your 6th house, So that's your daily routines. All right. Your 6th house, when we talk about your daily routines, Gemini, health, your health routines, your health habits. This is pets, domestic pets. Yeah. I I had one of the people on the Saturday Night Live who was talking about she feeds the feral cats in her neighborhood. And she found one of the feral, she said it was a kitten, so I don't know how many months old it was, but because I think it was like at least 4 months old. But she said that she found the kitten like in the swimming pool, not breathing. Yeah, had been there for a little bit of time. So yeah, it was like, oh no. So I mentioned that example because this can be something like that. It doesn't mean death. It doesn't have to be death, but it just can mean that, with Scorpio going through there, Scorpio's ruler is Mars and Pluto. So sometimes things happen, and it can be big things depending upon your degrees, because it's a south node eclipse. Okay. So because it's a south node eclipse, that's the second thing, right, that I said I would talk about. South node means we're letting something go. Now, because it's Scorpio, what are we letting go? Well, it's a shared value, right? So if it's in your 6th house, it's a shared value, meaning, does the family have a pet? It doesn't have to be the pet. Like maybe your dog's having puppies and you're giving puppies away. It can be as simple as that, right? It could also be, your cat having a litter, right? Giving, or whatever they're called, a cladder. I forget what they're called. Maybe it's a litter. I don't know. So, it can be something. It doesn't have to be tragic, is my point. It doesn't have to be tragic. All right. Now, it can also be stuff that happened in the past. It can be wounds of the past, right? Because it's Scorpio, and Scorpio's bonded energy, but it's bonded through money, bonded through blood, bonded through physical intimacy, bonded through emotions. It can be any one of these or all of them, right? Kind of deep. It is deep because it's past life stuff too, or other lifetimes. It's like soul memory, soul history. It's brought it with you. You're carrying it, right? And so because it's in this placement of your 6th house, the 6th house is your day-to-day routines. It's usually domestic stuff, okay? But it can be like the routines that you do at your job, because it's daily stuff. So what are your daily routines, right? So you're letting something go, some sort of a routine, right? You're letting something go. And it could be a routine connected to pets. It could be a routine connected to health, right? Your food, hygiene, cleanliness. These are all like that 6th house keywords. Might be a routine at your job, some sort of a task that you were given. You might be releasing it. You might be giving a new department, right? Right. It just might be your routines are going to switch up. Okay. Now, it's not all about losing something or letting something go, but this eclipse is also a solar eclipse, right? Number 3. It's a solar eclipse. First, we talked about Scorpio. Then we talked about that it is a south node eclipse. And now we're talking about that it's solar. The cool thing about a solar eclipse is it's the sun and the moon together. So when the sun and the moon are together, it's a new beginning. We are creating something. We're making something, right? Something is coming in. So the one of the really cool things about this energy, it's like, okay, I'm letting something go, but it's because I'm making room for the new, right? Yeah. Something goes out one door, but yet something comes into the next door. That's what this is, right? So there might be a health routine, something with your health, but because it's Scorpio, remember, if you have any sort of health stuff at all, likely it's because of some emotional wounds that you carry from the past. And again, this can be stuff that your soul has carried through. And so you're aware of it. Your soul can make impressions upon the personality. So you're aware of it, right? Even though you may not understand it. It's intense. It's intense. And it can affect your daily health, specifically the stomach and digestion, because this is the sixth house energy. When I talked about the sixth in health, it's Virgo kind of energy. So it's really about the stomach, the digestion. You know, how they talk about the stomach is really the first brain of the body, because if stuff's not right there, right? Like what goes on in the gut, yeah, your gut health is your health. And that's that sixth house. Okay, so let's pull a card for you. Let me mix these up one more time. Let's see what the card tells us, okay? I'm hearing take the one right on top. I got to figure out how you guys can see it. Yeah, right on top. There it is. Put the deck away and shazam. What do we have here? Oh my Lord, what a deeply spiritual card. Wow, interesting. We've got Jupiter and Taurus. So, Jupiter and Sagittarius, and then Venus and Taurus. Yeah, I said Jupiter and Taurus, which they are here. So what I want to say is that right off the bat, Venus usually is all about peace. And when she comes, she brings gifts and goodness. Peace, monks, right? They're all about peace. It's interesting. You don't normally see a female energy. Let me turn this for a second. No, it doesn't have to necessarily be a female, although it is somebody who has long hair. We'll put it like that. Because the face may even look a little broad. It may even have, the jaw's pretty square. So this may be a man who is making a choice to take the peaceful path, and who's leaving behind his riches. You see that? See all the wealth over here, all the gold and the the treasures, they're being left behind. You know that parable in the Bible, the path to real riches is a narrow one, and there's not enough room to take all your worldly possessions. This is kind of like that. It's saying there's something about spirituality, religion, peace, and this Jupiter and Sag is spirituality. It's God energy. Yeah, it's also the universe, because, well, God created the universe that we live in, right? Or the multiverses, right? So yeah, it usually adds to things. So there may have been some judgments. All right. Typically, when we talk about your sixth house, which I mentioned already, right? That's where your eclipse happens. It can be super critical energy, sarcastic and critical at times. All right. So you may have experienced some of that, whether you were doing it to others or others are doing it to you. It's just, when energy just is and it's just there, how it's used, it can be used by you or those around you. All right. So typically what we hold within here is energy is a boomerang. So what we put out, what we end up radiating is what we hold within, whether we like it or not. That's just the way it works. And it comes back to us because it's a boomerang. So there's something here about a recalibration for spirituality and peace, because Taurus and Venus is all about peace and spirituality. It's food, it's creature comforts. So it's really interesting. Okay. This release and this new beginning. I also want to say that, it's the Taurus energy in Venus is love. Yeah, it's love. And then a Jupiter energy, the Jupiter in Sag is wisdom. Wisdom, right? It's like, okay, I can see the big picture. I can see how we're all connected. Right. Now, the other thing I must mention is that this energy that this card is showing, they don't always get along because this energy is pretty fixed, the Taurus stuff. It's like, but that's what I value, right? And then this energy over here may pass judgment on the things that you value or who you love or what you love, okay? So so this is a little bit of an irritation. All right. It creates a little bit of an irritation. So it just tells me that there may be a little bit of work involved here. Okay. There is, first of all, if I didn't already say it, I think I did. These two bring gifts normally. They bring abundance. They bring goodness. Venus likes to give, and so does Jupiter. All right. So the goodness is at the back of all things, right? And so that opportunity is there. It's just going to take a little bit of finagling on your part, right? A little bit of finesse, a little bit of cooperation, of working things through, of being flexible, because this energy does not like to be flexible. It doesn't like to be flexible with the things that it values, but it's seeing the higher ground. It's seeing the greater picture. It's seeing that, if I release some of my fixed ways, I'm going to open up the doors to new beautiful things to come into my life. And somehow either religion or spirituality, higher learning, going to school. But see, like there's this group, it's like this person is choosing this sacred path almost, right? So I think it's really beautiful. It's all about peace because that's Venus. She's all about peace, peace and wisdom. Use your peace and wisdom for the long-term goal. That will be what helps you out in this situation. And to not stop yourself from giving. Make sure that when you have opportunities to give, that you're giving. It's not saying to go without. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't withhold, because when we withhold, it's going to create more difficulties for you. Okay. If you have the opportunity to help out in some way and to give, then do it. Be gracious. Be gracious. And Venus is gracious, and so is Jupiter, and they're here to help you. All right. Just remember peace and be wise in your choices. Okay. Next is Mars. Your Mars energy, right? Mars is in your sign, Gemini. Yes, in your sign. So this is in your first house of your body and your appearance. So when Mars enters somebody's first house, what happens is we actually become a little bit stronger. We actually have a little bit more energy. We actually start to become a little bit more physical, because that's what Mars does. It's all about the body. It's all about let's take action. Let's be first. So you might find yourself doing things and maybe being a little impulsive and not thinking them through first. That would be the caution with Mars, especially here at the end of October. From October all the way until March, Mars is going to be like on steroids. So it's going to be out of bounds, right? And it's going to be impulsive. It's going to want to be first. So it's just going to go ahead and do it, right? So you just want to be aware of that kind of energy and its inclinations, right? It's the impressions you'll be under. Impressions to just go ahead and take actions with your body, right? Now, it has something to do with learning, right? Learning something new, possibly about your body, about taking care of your body, but it really is tied into the appearance of your body. So this is a very, I like this placement. I like this placement for you, Gemini. I like that you have Mars here, because Mars can aid. It can give you support. I will be honest with you. Having it in the first house, Mars can create inflammation. So all you need to do is just keep that in check, meaning keep your stress levels low, and stress can come through from mental, physical, chemical stressors. Keep them low, okay? If you do that, this is going to be good, right? But again, Mars has a tendency, when the stress happens, it can inflame things, right? So inflammation. And so we just got to be aware of that. Like I have a profected Mars right now. And when you have something profected, it's with you for a full year. So when I got Omicron, that gave me my wake-up call. Like, dude, hello, check some things that you kind of forgot, some routines, some health habits that I had that I was really strict with actually for myself that I'm like, okay, yeah, wow, I haven't done that in a long time. I need to do that. And so these are things that help keep inflammation down, right? So just keep this in mind. Okay. Again, this is all the way until like April, March and April. All right. So it's like the next 7 months of your life. Mars can be childlike. It's all about the ego. It's like, but this is what I want. Right. So Mars can also in Gemini be the teacher. You're going to be taking action. Are you going to be taking on the role of a teacher? Are you going to look like a teacher? Because that's what you're going to be doing. It's a really good possibility. What do teachers look like? I don't know. Glasses, carrying books, always a nose in the book. Teachers talk, right? And that's this energy. So a very assertive talker. So you want to be cautious about how just Mars can be so just too much. It's like, dude, chill out, step back, count to 50, think about it, and then talk. Like that's what Mars does. Okay. It's just too much. Okay. Because it's not just Mars by itself, but it's Mars being out of bounds. All right. Again, I have a bunch of videos out. If you didn't see them, go check that out. That will give you way more details about what that means. I'm hearing to take this top card for you for your Mars energy. And yeah, let's take a peek. Oh, get out of here. It's the damn twins. And that's the Gemini card. This is so crazy. Oh my gosh. This is so crazy. I love this card though. Wow. It's like the Gemini twins and like they're androgynous, like we're not seeing masculine or feminine, which is awesome. I like that a lot. But here's the thing. Typically Gemini energy is associated with male energy, or I should say masculine energy. Neptune in Pisces is feminine energy. So you see how they did that? They put the signs up there. So it's a balance of both the give and take, the yin, the yang, the sweet, the salty, the talk and the listen energy. Because Gemini likes to, right? So yeah, you're going to be like, I don't know if you're going to be doing public speaking or yeah, but there's just something about your appearance, right? Learning something new, even you might even be the student. You may not be the teacher, but you may even be the student because that's Gemini. Gemini is also siblings and coworkers, peers, people that you live with, right? It's neighbors, next door neighbors, people at the market, right? I have a friend who sells baked goods. She's a baker and she's a merchant, right? Because she goes to all the markets and sells stuff. That's this energy. Yeah, it's your local community. Now, what's behind this energy? This is some really high energy behind you. This is that God divine energy back there. Okay. Gemini energy on a really high level gets messages from the divine. All right. That's Gemini on a super high level. That means that when you are working in a state of balance, meaning you're talking, but you're not being aggressive in your speech. You're talking, but you're not talking over people. You're slowing down your speech. You're aware of your speech. You're a conscious speaker. You're speaking to help, not hurt. You're speaking to learn. You're speaking to teach, but you're not speaking in a condescending way. There's no judgment involved. You're willing to teach anybody. You're willing to learn from anybody. You recognize that every being and thing that you encounter in life has something to teach you, no matter how old, no matter how young, no matter if it's two-legged or four-legged, right? This is that energy. There's something to learn from every experience, from every encounter, from every moment in life. We can literally walk away and learn something because Gemini is all about learning. It wants to learn. It's hungry for information. So be aware of the lesser Gemini energy. And that's going to be about news, social media, constantly communicating and talking, constantly just, hearing something and just pressing send or share, like whether it's legit or not. It might be fact, it might be crap. Like that's the lesser of the Gemini energy. Okay. So this energy is saying, I'm giving you support to take the higher road. I'm giving you support to work in a balanced way with your energy. You've got divine energy to back you up. You've got all these angelic wings that are surrounding you, that are like seeing over the twins. It's like this is their mother present, strong. Yeah, it's like there's yeah, we've got the female and the masculine, the feminine, but what's back there is more feminine energy to me as I read this card, okay? And I it's like you've got not just angels, but like there's like this saintly energy. So like this divine mother goddess energy that's here, okay? To support what you're going to be going through in the next 6 months, okay? Um be open and surrender when you need to. That's the listening time. Be receptive. All right. But be aware of your boundaries, but also be aware of others' boundaries. Listen, not to respond. Okay. Listen to really to understand, because that is Pisces. It's to understand. That's why it talks and communicates. It really wants to learn. It really wants to understand. It's not to be combative. It's not to be contrarian, which the Gemini energy can really, it excels at being contrarian. Somebody says, because it likes to debate. It just does. It likes to debate. So just be aware of that and see the support that you got coming for you. And Gemini, I hope you enjoy your October. So below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.